Hello and welcome back to Pokemon White version, where today we're going to get our last gym badge. And hopefully we will find a shiny Mewtwo, but that's less guaranteed. Right, gotta try and avoid the water. Hey there, guard. I'm doing fine. Hope you are too. We've already got our encounter for this route, so I do not have to take this Palpitoad. I actually do like Seismitoad, it's just Palpitoad. I'm not a fan. And you know what? Let's go ahead. Take that egg, give it to Lilligant, because Lilligant should be pretty good on this route. Yeah, guard, I'm not sure there's anything from Asirus City or Route, what is this, 8, that I would have taken and added to the party at this point. Like, my party is pretty fixed by now. I did find a Golett, and I am tempted to put it on the team, but not so tempted that I'm gonna go ahead and kick anyone off for it, really. At least not so tempted. Also, excuse me. Not so tempted that I want to go back to the PC right now and grab it. Mother Nature changes her look according to the seasons. That's something I cherish. Well, if you cherish it so much, why isn't it in a cherish ball? Well, I said Lilligant would be good on this route, but not so good against a Cubchoo. Hey there, Nick. It crit me, I crit right back. Though my crit was probably not necessary in the slightest. Maractus is an interesting Pokemon to have here. So I spent all of yesterday, basically, except for when I was streaming, ripping my DS collection for my AYN Thor. And interesting. Wow. 2 misses in a row, huh? All right. It's using acupressure to raise its evasion. So now its evasion can't get any higher. Hooray. I don't know why my brain was like, oh, acupressure, that raises like a random stat, right? No, it's evasion. Yeah, anyway. Ripping said DS games was annoying because they're on a shelf with a bunch of figures in front of them, and my Game Boy collection sits on top of the DS collection because they're of similar lengths when lined up on the wall in their boxes. And yeah, it was annoying because I had to move the figures, take the DS games one at a time so that the Game Boy stuff didn't fall. But thankfully, the process was relatively quick. When seasons change, Mother Nature gives us this. As for why the process was so quick, nature changes and Pokemon evolve. How can people change? The largest DS games were, I believe, 256 megs in my collection. Maybe Black 2 and White 2 were bigger. I think they might have been 512 meg cartridges. But either way, most of the DS games I have are 64 megs or smaller, which, man, remember when games were that size? And I have literally had to rip save files from 3DS games that are bigger than that. Like, literally, getting my whole DS collection ripped took less time than exporting the files for specifically just Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Ultra Sun from my 3DS where I got those digitally. And that I was able to have run at the same time as I was using a different 3DS for ripping the DS games. Also, Sludge Bomb could be good for somebody, maybe. Only Krokorok can learn it, and Krokorok ain't a special attacker. Plus, Poison isn't the best attacking type in this game. It certainly gets much better once fairies get added to the series, but that don't happen this gen. So, in my other efforts for my Pokédex, I finished the file of Legends Arceus that I was playing to get my second Enamorus. Which, gotta love how Enamorus is the second last Pokemon you get access to in that game. Had to play through the entire freaking thing. But, yeah, finished that one. And just barely started another file. I've had to create 2 burner Nintendo Switch accounts in order to get additional saves for that game without deleting my existing saves. And because they are meant to be burner accounts just to hold saves for this one game, I've given them names that are sillier versions, or silly homages to the names that I typically give things. The splish splosh sounds, those were your footsteps, weren't they? So cute! So yeah, my account names for those 2 burner accounts. We've got Garnish. Oh hey, OBS disconnected, are we back? You may have missed out on some discussion of Garnish and Red Moss and how they were made specifically to amuse me, and I believe you may have also missed a Frillish getting Giga Drained. But that's about it. Let's toss in Samurott here. Samurott's not the best choice. Why'd I go with Samurott? I guess I was just looking at who needed XP. According to footstep fortune-telling, those whose footsteps make a splish and a splosh are trainers that Pokemon like. Whose footsteps wouldn't make those sounds in a puddle? My parasol is full of TMs. Would you like one? Facade, facade! When the user's poisoned, paralyzed, or burned, its attack power doubles. Really wish my Lilligant had more than just the one attacking move. But I don't think she's gonna learn any more on her own. So I need to, like, find the Energy Ball TM. Real fishermen are impatient, so we must battle immediately. Oh, the Energy Ball TM is on Route 12, which means it's post-game. Also, this Basculin we're looking at, seeing its sprite here, makes it real clear why that Japanese copy of Pokemon Black the user who liked to nickname things nicknamed their basculin something that effectively meant chinfish. Because, I mean, look at that chin! Really wish my Duosion knew an electric move. How do I know that real fishermen are so impatient? Because we change places frantically if we cannot catch Pokemon. I'm actually just gonna look through my TMs real quick. And they are, in fact, in numeric order. So... am I missing TMs that I could have right now? I'm missing Hail, which I could buy, but I really don't want it. Missing Sunny Day, which, again, could buy, but don't really care. Missing a handful of TMs I could buy, but specifically chose not to. Could go back to Pinwheel Forest and get Solar Beam at this point. Could go back to Relic Castle and get Earthquake, maybe. If they didn't take me out of it before I wanted to leave. And then we got Return, we got Dig. Psychic is post-game. We got Shadow Ball. We're missing Brick Break, which can be gotten in Isiris City. Wonder if that's a winter-only thing, or if I just didn't talk to someone I should have. We're missing... nope, nothing else important thus far. Could have gotten Rest and Attract in Castelia City, not that I would be using either of those. Could go back to Wellspring Cave for low sweep, but that's not super enticing. Could get Focus Blast from Wellspring Cave, but why would I go for a move that never hits? 70% accuracy, might as well be 0. If I go back to Nuvema Town, I could get False Swipe. Not that I would be using that either. Apparently Scald is in the cold storage. That is something that I could care about. How'd I miss that? Wait, what? I've got Payback, but it says Payback is on Route 16. Isn't Route 16... Oh, wait, no. Route 16 is like the one that you can reach before post-game by going towards... Or going right from... the one city that's named... I forget. Nimbasa, I believe. And then... got Flash. Rock Slide is in Mistralton Cave. I can probably get that. That would be a good thing to have. And Poison Jab I could go get. Not that that would be super useful. We've gone over the fact that Poison isn't the best attacking type in this game. There's so many good TMs that are either locked behind post-game or the Battle Subway, which is pretty much post-game. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I'm missing that I would like to have. That I can get before post-game. So yeah, this game just really hoards its good TMs until late, which I guess makes sense, because, like, oh, once you get it, you can use it infinitely, because they aren't consumed upon use. So they just decided to hold off on giving you the good stuff, because as soon as you get it, you use it on every Pokemon that learns it. So if we just take a look here, I just want to check the map. Yep, that's Route 12 there. That's where Energy Ball lives. And because it is to the right of Opaliscid City, it is post-game content. And yeah, Route 16 is there. If you turn a parasol around, it's like a flower blossoming in the rain. You know, I'm looking over to my left on my bookshelf. And I actually have the hardcover strategy guide for this exact game. If I just move a couple amiibo out from in front of it, then I would have access to it and would be able to much more easily reference where TMs and things are. But that's effort. On rainy days, use a parasol, wear a coat, or get wet. Do as you like. So, if you're using it to block rain, it's an umbrella, not a parasol. Parasols are for blocking sun. Bet that's an Alomomola. Yes, I know it's a Lomomola. It's not that hard to pronounce, but... Oh, nope, that's a Stunfisk. What's a Stunfisk doing in a Ripley spot? Like, I found a Stunfisk by just standard walking. Earlier. On my first visit to this route. Also, hey, Reuniclus time. No, I don't want to learn Dizzy Punch. Reuniclus is not a physical attacker. Why does it learn Dizzy Punch? See? Didn't need a Ripley spot for that, Stunfisk. Not gonna bother with it, Stunfisk. They're too bulky. Too much risk. It blends in among the trees and grass, and it shows its strength. See the strength of my Pokémon! How does Cinccino blend in among the grass and trees? How? This is what Pokemon love. Here, take some. There's nature and there are cities, and it's lovely to have the choice. Both people and Pokemon can choose their favorite places. So what have we here? Ah, the Moor of Isserus. Well, this is a new place, which means a new encounter. So, I am allowed to catch this Palpitoad. Not that I need it. Okay, I guess I don't get to catch it. And you know what? I don't mind not catching a Palpitoad. It has not been a secret that I'm not a fan of Palpitoad. I bought new boots, so I came all this way to get them dirty. You're right, if I have a battle, they may get even dirtier. How would your boots be dirtied in a battle? You don't have to run all around or anything. So many trainers act like they're the ones doing things in battles, but they're not. You're issuing orders to your Pokémon. I swear, if I didn't have a Samurott, in a heartbeat, I would grab a male Feralish and put it in my party. I would feel sorry for Boots if I cared about them getting dirty. Pokemon are the same, right? I feel sorry for them getting hurt, but it makes them stronger. Very few trainers acknowledge that your Pokemon get hurt in battles. Yeah, I'm not here for Stunfisk. Knowing oneself, knowing the other, and knowing the surroundings. That's a ranger. I was about to think, like, you know, every gym gives us something that's good against it right before the gym. But there's no dragon or ice types immediately before the Opaloosa gym. But then, again, there's Drudigan, which is a dragon type, and before you can even get Drudigan, you can get Cubchoo. So every gym does make sure that you have access to something that is super effective against it before you go into the gym. If you're prepared, you don't have to worry. I'm researching what kinds of Pokemon live around here. That way I can plan which Pokemon I should take along. It always bothers me when my very first step into grass or somewhere else that can generate encounters generates an encounter. Just, it feels like you should always have to take at least 2 steps before an encounter can happen. Pokemon trainers nurture friendship with their battles. Well, that light screen isn't good for Reuniclus. Not good at all. Though a Psychic at this point should get rid of the Emolga. Just gotta be a little bit precious with my Psychic PP because I'm running low. Oh boy, more acupressure. Oh, no, acupressure raises a random stat. I guess the one we were fighting before just got evasion multiple times. Because of course it would. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I just saw it raise its special defense with that last acupressure. Which, not good for us. Yeah, we need someone else to deal with this thing. Behind a light screen and a high, or a +2 special defense boost. And thus do we call in the monkey. Who deals with it, no problem. I wish Lilligant had any PP to use. Reuniclus probably isn't a great choice for Alomomola. Isn't this thing, like, specially bulky? Most fish feel like they are. Show me a special defense drop. Show me not hitting myself in confusion. Show me a special defense drop. Nice. And now I have a water-type Reuniclus. I guess the Alomomola got tired of doing neutral damage to me. Oh, it wanted to do neutral damage with Wake Up Slap, I see. Please accept this citrus berry as a token of our friendship. Stay still and listen carefully. Hear the sounds of nearby Pokémon. The breath of trees and swamps. If they're trainers, I just have battles with them. Because they may show me water-type Pokemon I've never seen. It's kind of wild that in this game, you don't get a fishing rod until post-game. Just the old rod doesn't exist in this game. And the good rod doesn't exist in this game. The super rod exists in this game, but it's a post-game item. You're just not allowed to go fishing in this game until you've already beaten it. It's weird. Just realized I need to be more careful around this Stunfisk because I've been soaked. I mean, if I'm going to send out someone who's a water type, Samurott would be the choice, but I think I'm going to go Krokorok. Nice miss on Mud Bomb. Oh. I just looked at Relic Castle. Earthquake is in a post-game part of it. And therefore I cannot go back and get Earthquake. Which honestly makes sense. Giving us the Earthquake TM before post-game would be out of character for this game. If I find water, I drop in my fishing line. Because even with a puddle, there may be Pokemon that I've never seen. Love getting an encounter immediately after a battle by just turning left. So admittedly, that last attempt to run was unintentional. I meant to go, okay, I already failed to run once, I want to attack this thing. But apparently, pressing up from on the run command does not take us to fight. It does nothing. I am mashing up on the D-pad right now. So, when you're on run, all you can do is go right to Pokemon or left to bag. And when you're on fight, if you press down, it goes to bag. or to Pokemon, whichever was the last one selected. Oh, I guess the Palpitoad encounter that I Shadow Balled earlier and crit might have gone down even without a crit. I suppose Reuniclus is rather strong. And it looks like we've explored the entire moor of Isserus. And it looks like Brick Break I could have gotten by talking to somebody in the Pokemon Center. So that's my bad. Oh, but apparently there was a chance that the Palpitoad I found earlier and KO'd with a crit might have survived with a non-crit. Seems it's a range. That's right. I find rocks and then I give them to people. That's my simple life. You rock. Here, I'll give you the heat rock I found this afternoon. Yeah. If you like rocks, come back tomorrow. Roll in at a different time if possible. I'll be here, I promise. I got that pun. Alright. Redmond! As I've been traveling lately, I've been thinking about things. Things like what I can do with my life and what I want to do, but I'm thinking how cool it would be to be a model like Alessa. And then how cool it would be to do research on Pokemon like Professor Juniper. If that's what I want to do, I'm going to have to know a lot about Pokemon. So, would you please battle me? Stoutland, you say? That feels like a rather large threat to Reuniclus. Thankfully, the Intimidate means nothing. Let's go ahead and throw a Psychic at it. I don't like that it's boosting its attacking stats. Oh, so you chose that move. And that crunch is probably going to get rid of Reuniclus. Oh, it's not. Well then, as long as I don't get a very low roll on this Psychic, Stoutland's gone. And now we have the Bigu Pigu. Ow. I don't think I outspeed this thing. But with an Aqua Jet, I would. Is it raining? It is raining. Show me enough damage. Nice. Alright, Grass Monkey we bring out Fire Monkey for. Only my Fire Monkey's been upgraded from the standard variety. Meanwhile, Bianca here has to wait until Gen 8 to be able to upgrade her Grass Monkey to a better Grass Monkey. We haven't gotten a Water Monkey upgrade yet, have we? I don't know why I'm using Flare Blitz in the rain. Every time I watch my Pokemon battle, it ends like this. So Flare Blitz would KO me. A Fire Punch would probably get the KO without KOing me. Nice. The Pokemon on both sides tried so hard, didn't they? Yep, Redmond, you're amazing. I'm really, really, really impressed, and that makes me want to give this to you. 1 full restore. Hooray. In Castelia City, my precious Pokemon was stolen by Team Plasma. So I really, really understand. If Team Plasma forces everyone to liberate their Pokemon, there will be nothing but sad people. Redmond, stop Team Plasma. Don't allow Pokemon to be stolen from trainers who love them. I think that's the truth, or ideal, that you've been pursuing, Redmond. Oh dear, here I've come all this way, and I'm afraid I'm bothering you when you're going through so much. All I wanted was to help you relax, Redmond. Knowing you, you'll be fine. Definitely, you'll be totally fine. I'll be even more fine if you heal my Pokemon for me. I guarantee it. Anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, bye-bye. Would have been nice if you healed my Pokemon for me. How do I describe this? You know that vibration you feel on the soles of your feet when you're crossing the two-blind bridge? It's the coolest.
For anyone obsessed with railroads, especially trained photographers like me, the Two-Blind Bridge and Anvil Tower are both perfect spots for taking pictures.
A giant steel bridge towering over the road ahead. I get excited just looking at this model of the Two-Blind Bridge. Or just looking at this model of the Two-Blind Bridge. I'm gonna go back to Osiris and heal up. Because I'm pretty sure we are not getting heals before our next encounter. And boy, do I need them.
Everybody has a different reason for their trips, and the same can be said for gift giving. I'll give you this to commemorate this encounter with you. The move Brick can remove the protective effects of reflect and light screen. Are you surprised? I may not look like it, but this old lady used to be a battle girl.
Brick Break is a pretty good move that I should probably teach to somebody if I can. I could teach it to Darmanitan over Hammer Arm, but Hammer Arms are just better. Would Sheer Force remove the ability to break reflect and light screen from Brick Break? Probably not. I would like to get rid of strength for Brick Break, but I can't. So I'm just going to get rid of Swagger. I've never clicked it. It's unlikely that I would click it, for being honest. This is a rather short route if you just rush straight through it. Taking a detour to the Moor of Osiris. That's what makes it not so short. Hey, you! It's just my opinion, but it's best if you avoid this area on weekend evenings. The brats who live around here often get up to something stupid. Okay, so if we were here on, say, a Saturday evening, we would have actually had some trainers to battle. When I was running around trying to outrun the trains, I got overheated. Phew! Anyway, please take this. This TM contains flame charge. If the move lands, the user's speed goes up. You'll blow by everyone. I do believe I see Getsus. Come. Getsus, we brought the one you wanted. Excellent. It seems that you have obtained the Darkstone. I congratulate you on a job well done. It is my Lord N's thought that the two holders of the legendary Pokémon should put their beliefs on the line and strive to find which is the true hero. This is not necessary, however. From his infancy, I provided him with the education required to become the hero of legend. Indeed, he has been so acknowledged by the legendary Pokémon. Such purity of purpose is his. The liberation of Pokémon, of which Team Plasma speaks, is the separation of Pokémon from foolish people. That's the truth. All trainers will become helpless to resist us. We alone will be able to use Pokémon. The preparations are complete. When my perfect plan is set in motion, first a few gullible Pokemon trainers who are unable to resist Team Plasma will release their Pokemon. Then that number will become 100, then 1,000. In no time, even the gym leaders and the champion will become unable to fight us. Having a Pokemon will be considered a bad thing. Even people like the sad little Bianca, whose Pokemon was stolen in Castelia, will be unable to face public opinion and will release their Pokemon. That's the kind of world we'll make. You may have the stone, but there's no chance whatsoever that the legendary Pokemon will accept you as the hero. So, if you're not willing to hand over your precious Pokemon, I suggest you search for some courage, because you're going to need it.
Phew, I tried a little too hard. I bought way too much at Shopping Mall 9. Route 9 has a lot of trainers for such a short route. If there is a place where people can ride, similar people tend to gather. The pitcher throws his first pitch. What I just threw was TM56, Fling. You throw an item to do damage to the target, and the damage changes depending on what you throw. Shame you can only use it once. So, something kind of funny about these trainers on their bikes. If you hold the run button, they go faster. So here I'm not holding it. And press. And release. And press. So yeah, they go faster when you press the run button. It's silly. Do you want to pass through here? Then you must greet me. Hello. Okay. Reuniclus ain't a great choice for a Krokorok. Don't hit yourself. That's what I said to not do. Nice crit, probably unnecessary. For a child like you, a bicycle is just right. It's healthier, isn't it? If I win, give me your Pokemon. No. Thus far, 100% of the trainers I have battled on this route have had a Krokorok. In fact, 100% of the trainers involved in battles in this route thus far have had a Krokorok. Because I have a Krokorok. Lilligant is not a great choice for a Garbodor. Bah, I haven't fallen so low that I would steal somebody's Pokemon like Team Plasma. Hello, sir. Do you have a Krokorok? Hey, what have we here, boys? You have good Pokemon. Let me see. Oh, it's a double team. So, Reuniclus, honestly not incredible against Scraggies. So I feel like talking to that biker from the side denied us the greeting of his partner trainer. There are good Pokemon, but there are no bad Pokemon. Everything's up to the trainer, that's what I think. Even bad men like us can be friends. What a great thing, friendship between men and friendship with Pokemon. Just playing with this guy's accelerator. Heh, nobody can beat my speed and fury. So a Poniard is not something I want to leave a Reuniclus in front of. I have no means of doing neutral damage to this thing using Reuniclus. Krokorok, meanwhile. Can do quadruple damage. I wish I could fly down a much bigger road. Pokemon would be happy too. Join our team. Actually, I will force you to join our team. How are you going to force me to join your team when all you've got is a Scraggy? And Defeatist has been activated. Be nice if I saw a high jump kick miss ever. We are cool. We hang out here every day. So I'm going to go visit the Pokemon Center before I finish out this route. I heard the guy with the legendary Pokemon was visiting Opaloosa City. I wonder what he's chewing on. Welcome to Opaloosa City, where people value history. Have you heard this before? And behold, Opaloosa City. And also there's Team Plasma here, apparently. Hello, Redmond. This way. Gets us. What a liar. Desperately trying to con everyone with his speech. That's correct. Our Lord N has combined his power with the legendary Dragon-type Pokemon and intends to create a new world. We herald the return of the hero of Unova, founder of this region. Pokemon are different from people. They are living beings who contain unknown potential. They are living beings from whom we humans have much to learn. They are beings whose greatness we should acknowledge. Beings who should be freed from our oppression. We, Team Plasma, invite you to join us. We all want to create a new world where people and Pokemon are both free. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you now, please release your Pokemon. And so I end my plea to you today. Thank you, one and all, for your attention. Is it true? Have we been making Pokemon suffer? Maybe we should release our Pokemon like Team Plasma says. No way! Without Pokemon, I'll be lonely and sad! What was that about? That speech was off the charts strange. The cooperation of people and Pokemon is how Unova came to exist to begin with. If a Pokemon really didn't want anything to do with humans, it would simply leave. Capturing a Pokemon in a Pokeball doesn't mean you've captured its heart. Let's go, Redmond. It's been a while, Iris and Drayden. Oh, Mr. Alder! And the guy who helped out that time. What's wrong? What does the wandering champion who left the Pokemon League need from us? Briefly, my request is this. Tell us about the legendary Dragon-type Pokemon. Are you talking about Reshiram or Zekrom? What's the sudden interest? Moments ago, a troublemaker known as Getsus was here. He said a trainer named N has reawakened Reshiram. Yes. That trainer called in apparently told Redmond here to search for the other Dragon-type Pokemon. Let me check that I have this straight. This
N, or what have you, Natural Harmonia Gropius, was it? Presumes to set the two dragon-type Pokemon against each other in battle to test his convictions?
Oh no! The Dragon-type Pokemon get along so well!
That's right, Iris. The ones who make Pokemon battle are the trainers. And it's so the trainers and the Pokemon can get to know each other better. I'm going to the Pokemon League. No, I guess in this case I should say I'm returning to the Pokemon League. Of course, I'll defeat N. I'll teach him about the beauty of this world where Pokemon and trainers live together in harmony. Also, Redmond, I'll await your arrival. Once you've obtained the Opelucid badge, come to the League. The Opelucid gym leader is tough. Take care. Farewell. I'm counting on you, Drayden and Iris.
Aw, he's gone. Is he okay? He looked kind of scary.
Don't worry, Iris. He is the strongest trainer in all of Unova. Well, Redmond is it? Come to my home. As Alder asked, I'll tell you everything I can about the legendary Dragon-type Pokemon. Iris, child, please show the way.
You bet. If it's Opelucid City, I can take you anywhere. As for the story of Reshiram and Zekrom, we'll tell you all we know about it. This way.
I just wanted to
That way.
go to the Pokemon Center.
The hopes of an ancient people are put into this melody. I will bring them back to us now.
But yeah, Opelucid City is another one of the places that changes between versions. In white version, it's, this rustic type of city. In black version, it is futuristic, like neon everywhere and glowing walkways and stuff. And it looks completely out of place in the rest of the region.
A slow passage of time in Opelucid City. It fits an old woman like me perfectly.
Alright, time to get back to Route 9. Because we haven't had an encounter here yet. Liprid's already off the table. Don't gotta worry about this being what we find here. A Poniard would be neat. Though, Bisharp, I mean, it's clearly not as good as it could be. They felt the need to give it an evolution. Minchino is already off the table. And also there's the fact that it takes like a decade for Poniard to evolve. Evolves at what? Level 50, I think? Whatever level it evolves at, it's too late. Too late for something that they considered already to be low enough on the power scale that it needed an evolution. And there's a Poniard.
Incidentally, the other option we would have had here would have been Garbodor. So I cannot do neutral damage to this thing. And Shadow Ball is actually going to do a quarter damage. Because Steel still resists Ghost in this generation. Let's go ahead and Shadow Ball it one more time and then throw Pokeballs. Stay in the ball if you would. And there we go. Poniard, the sharp blade Pokemon. They fight at Bisharp's command. They cling to their prey and inflict damage by sinking their blades into it. I just looked at Reuniclus's learn list. And, turns out if I want this thing to get an electric move, it has to be Thunder. Which is really a shame. Because, like, yeah, Thunder's strong and all, but 70% accuracy outside of rain is not the most desirable. Only strong Pokemon live in this cave. The champion occasionally goes in for training, but you aren't ready for this challenge. Isn't that like where Terrakion lives? Great. Gave the Poniard a Defiant boost. Thankfully, it didn't matter. I feel like Reuniclus has enough XP for now. Let's get Krokorok some. Nobody else can use the Eviolite on this team. Alright, now to visit Shopping Mall 9. There are even some people in the mall who will challenge you to battles. On the first floor, they sell medicines. On the second floor, they sell TMs and different kinds of mail. On the third floor, they sell items for raising stats and battle items. I really admire Mr. Clyde, the Pokemon Gym Guide, so I'm practicing being a guide too. Good trainers never use only brute force. They think about many different strategies, such as which Pokemon and moves to use in battle or the best time to use an item. Welcome! Would you like a cold drink with your Pokemon battle? I mean, if you'll give me one, sure. But not if I have to pay for it. Though speaking of, hydration is good and I should do it. Alright, Krokorok does not get to play with the Lilligant. Let's send in Archeops. I have concerns. Thankfully, we still outspeed it. Incidentally, Endeavor would be at least partially a way around Defeatist. Invigorating Soda Pop for exhausted Pokemon after a battle. Available in any vending machine. But you're not going to give me any? This mountain of cardboard. They're all full of electronics we can't sell anymore. They're just going to waste. I wonder if someone could put them to good use. So this is for Rotom forms, I would assume. I come shop at the shopping mall a lot because I want all the TMs. I am a rich boy, so I have a great Pokemon. Missed the A. I don't know that Liepard's that great. I mean, it's probably going to use Fake Out, but beyond there, it's not going to accomplish much. I'll keep Crunch rather than learn Foul Play. Crocodile gets a pretty solid attack stat.
And speaking of Crocodile, here it is. I am a rich boy. I will go on a shopping spree to make myself feel better. Hello. Welcome to the technical machine department. Do you have more than just those? Because I don't want them. You said you come here a lot because you want all the TMs. They have 2. Playing hide and seek would be fun. Can't even buy a Lux Ball here. What's the point? Have you heard? There's a cave along Route 9. I don't know exactly where it is or what's in it, though. Yeah, not allowed in until I'm the champion. The thing I buy most often is the item that raises a Pokemon's HP, called HP Up. There are also a lot of other items that catch my eye. Hey, Pokemon Trainer, do you know about an item called the Thunderstone? Yeah, I do know about it. So you know Thunderstones make certain Pokemon evolve then? Nice! Meeting here must be fate. This is for you. I am a waiter who is good at Pokemon battles. Our specialty is the best Pokemon battles. Even when I am resting from too much shopping, I'm willing to battle. I really wish Crocodile's back sprite didn't have its arms raised quite so high. Just makes it look silly. Yeah, we'll keep Crocodile in. Sure, we've been intimidated, but Crocodile is still pretty strong. In fact, now that the whole team is fully evolved, we should compare some attacking stats. I'm very rich, but even I am pleased with the selection at this shopping mall. I want to buy more. I'm not pleased with the selection. They've only got 2 TMs that I don't want, and they don't even have luxury balls. The selection here is lacking. So, Crocodile, 125 attack. 127 special attack on Reuniclus. 143 attack on Darmanitan. 110 attack on Samurott. 103 special attack on Lilligant, who is now my weakest attacker. There was a time when she was my strongest. And 136 attack on Archeops here. So actually, that means that Crocodile here is our second weakest attacker. But he is our third fastest Pokemon, so there's that going for him. Plus, he gets some pretty good coverage. Or at least some pretty useful coverage. I'm not certain what manner of stringed instrument this is. Welcome back, guard.
Just a little farther. This is it.
I'll explain. What you are holding is the Darkstone. Zekrom, who will likely awaken from the Darkstone, and Reshiram, who is already awake, were once the same Pokemon.
That single dragon Pokemon, along with twin heroes, brought a new region into being. And people in Pokemon had happy lives.
One day, however, the twin heroes, the older brother who sought the truth and the younger brother who sought ideals, began to argue about how to decide which one of them was right. The single dragon-type Pokemon that had been with them all that time split its body into two, except actually it was three. One sided with the older brother, and the other with the younger brother, and the third went off to live in a cold cave somewhere.
In its pursuit of truth, the white dragon-type Pokemon sought to usher in a new and better world. Its name was Reshiram. And the other, the black dragon-type Pokemon, sought ideals and to usher in a new world, a world of hope. And honestly, I personally believe in ideals. Like, yes, truth is very important. But letting yourself be bound by the truth instead of seeking to create a more ideal truth than the one that exists. Like, oh, this is just the way things are versus, yes, but they could be better. Yeah, I'm going to go for ideals personally. Its name was Zekrom.
Because the two of them were once the same entity, their battle raged on endlessly, and neither one could be declared the winner. They simply exhausted themselves. The twin heroes proclaimed that there was no one side that was right and ceased the conflict.
But, the two heroes' sons started the battle again, and an instant later, Reshiram and Zekrom destroyed Unova with fire and lightning.
Sounds like the Unova region didn't last very long, did it?
Then they disappeared. But, if people work with Pokemon in the right way, we don't have to worry anymore about the world being destroyed. I mean, Reshiram and Zekrom worked hard for everyone and made a new region. So it should be alright, I think.
True, Pokemon cannot speak. People may hurt Pokemon even more by imposing their selfish thoughts on them. But no matter what, people and Pokemon believe in each other, need each other, and will continue to live together.
Yeah. So I'm never going to forgive Team Plasma for trying to separate Pokemon and us.
Sorry, we got a little off topic at the end. That is everything we know. Unfortunately, we don't know how to wake up the legendary Pokemon. I made a promise to Alder. You must win the gym badge from the Opelucid Pokemon Gym. Iris, you go and be Redmond's opponent at the Pokemon Gym.
Yay! Look out! I'm really, really strong, just like Drayden.
If I'm not mistaken, their teams are identical. Welcome to Opaloosa Gym, the Unova region's strongest and biggest trial. First off, please take this fresh water. It'll help you in the challenge ahead. Let me give you a brief explanation of the trick to the Opaloosa Gym. The path around this gym is shaped like two dragons. The path changes when you step on the switches on the dragon's arms. Pay attention to how the dragon's necks move. The Dragon Gym in Opaloosa City is where tough trainers show that they can carve out their own path. If I'm not mistaken, Intimidate will actually be useful against every Pokemon here. Aha, look at that thing speeding itself up when I use Dig. So it spent 2 turns unable to do anything to me. And using Dragon Dance again. On the 1 turn it had where it could have dealt damage. What a fool. Yeah, I think the only special attacking non-legendary dragon type in the whole of the Unova decks is Hydreigon. And nobody in here is going to have that. Dino and Zvilus evolve into Hydreigon, but I believe they're more on the physical side. As the name suggests, a gym leader is the top of a gym. The leader is the top of the heap at this Opaloosa Gym. If you want to meet the leader, climb up on the dragon's backs and aim for the top floor. But I've already met the leader. Oh, indeed, guard. Here's hoping your AC issues are resolved successfully, because, yeah, AC is important as we approach summer. I will tell a trainer who beats me how to move forward in this gym. Okay, but which trainer who beats you? Is it me? I wouldn't mind finding a dino. That said, I wouldn't be able to fully evolve it before rolling credits, so... Still, I had a Hydreigon on my team on my first run through this game. Jump from the triangle mark, or from a triangle mark. When you land on a switch on an arm, the dragon's head will move, and you can move ahead. The head will move, and I can move ahead, you say? I mean, having the head move, I would easily imagine would move heads. Do you understand how the dragon's heads move? Well, let's do with this fracture what we did with the last fracture. And it is once again speeding itself up so that it's going to use its attack while we're underground and thus miss us. And it's Taunt again. Does that mean we can expect it to Dragon Dance a second time, as it did before? Let us see. Nope, it's taunting now. Just really wanted to make sure that I couldn't use any non-attacking moves. Even though I don't have any non-attacking moves to use on this crocodile. These fractures seem quite predictable. But now it's actually at a +1 attack instead of +0 because it didn't get intimidated. But our crit has ensured that that doesn't matter. The dragon's arms go up and down. And depending on the arms, the dragon's heads turn right and left and move up and down too. Listen, here's a hint. If both arms point down, the dragon's head sinks down too. And thus, if both arms are raised... Are you happy just hanging out with Pokemon? Or do they have to be strong? We'll see which type you are. I'm happy just hanging out with them. If I wasn't, then I never would have spent so much time on Shroomishes in those various runs where I kept a Shroomish in the party long enough to learn Spore. So, thus far, for Pokemon we have battled in this gym, it's been a whole bunch of Fracture and a single Dino. Which is not a whole lot of variety. And I mean, sure, if they had had Axews, that would have been more variety technically, but wouldn't have been a real challenge. But like, Druddigon exists. Xvilus exists. Show us some of them. Every person loves Pokemon in a different way. Getting strong with my Pokemon, that's the way I chose. And we're not allowed to go down there. And therefore, we must go this way. Thanks for coming. I happily welcome you. But I may be a little rough on you. Finally, we see a Druddigon. So, if memory serves, Druddigon is actually fairly physically bulky. Not to mention having rough skin. Not a fan of that Night Slash.
Advancing or retreating is up to you, but if you proceed, prepare yourself. Moving forward half-heartedly is disrespectful to your Pokémon. And downstairs we go. I will test you to see how well you really know Pokemon. I mean, if you want to test how well I know Pokemon, you should be asking me questions, not battling me. This is testing how well I know Pokemon battles. It's a different thing. Let's see, actually, how well a dig does against this Druddigan. Did fine. And a crunch should get rid of it, but then we'll definitely have to heal between battles. Crab, my memory of Black and White 2's version of this, where you ride like the dragon head and it goes up as you battle trainers. It wasn't really that interesting. You just ride a thing, and it delivers you to a trainer. And then you're forced into a battle. And then you ride the thing more. And that's the whole gym. It's real boring. It might look neat, but it's just in terms of actually going through it, it's one of the most standard gyms there is. The fact that this thing's using Dragon Claw so much means it might be seeing a KO. Yeah, it was. I'm a trainer. I don't have to get strong myself. All I have to do is support Pokemon so that they can fight at their best. See, this guy actually knows what a Pokemon trainer does. Most NPC trainers talk about getting yourself so strong, and it's very silly because you being strong has nothing to do with your Pokemon's ability to perform. And then we go back around and land on the same hand we just were on. I wonder what you will do as a trainer. Command my Pokemon to use moves that will beat your Pokemon. That's how it works. Alright, we're going back to Reuniclus for this Druddigan. Reuniclus is shockingly bulky. Right, they have Night Slash. And a nice hammer arm ought to do this guy in. I love Pokemon battles. I never know what my opponent will do. It gives me chills. Win or lose, it's the excitement of the fight that counts. Ah, yes, pre-nerf hyper potions. Who doesn't love restoring 200 HP? Honestly, for most Pokemon, you might as well just never even buy max potions. Because 200 HP is gonna exceed the HP values of most Pokemon during a playthrough. Only a select few are gonna get more than 200 HP by the time they, by the time you reach the final battle of the story. We have 10 years experience battling. I will give you a taste of a veteran's skill. Did she say 10 years? Yeah, she said 10 years. Ma'am, those are rookie numbers. Try 29. Can't say that I've been playing this franchise for 30 years because it didn't come to the States until 97. But I can easily say that I've been playing this franchise for 29 years. Because I started in 97. And now to hope that that Fracture just really wants to get this taunt on. It does. It's almost as though this Fracture is acting exactly like every other Fracture we've seen. Not using damaging moves until it feels like it's got a KO lined up.
That was a KO. I think it needed the crit, but that was in fact a KO. I think Darmanitan's my fastest. Let's make sure. I know Reuniclus isn't. 117. Yep, 117's the fastest I got. So, Darmanitan. Go monkey. Getting stronger is like walking down a road that never ends, no matter how much you fight. It's what this dragon gym is about. It's the secret of the dragon's backs. So I'd just like to point out, female veterans got a unique overworld sprite. And male veterans use the minor type worker sprite. So, like, what's the deal there? Why do the male veterans have to share with a different trainer class? And there's Iris.
Hi, I'm Iris, the amazingly strong gym leader. Tell me, what Pokemon are you using? How will you fight? Ooh, I'm super curious, so let's just get started.
I don't feel like there's enough room up here for a battle. Just saying. I wonder if this fracture will behave exactly like all the other fractures. Yep, opens with a Dragon Dance. Will the taunt come next? Oh, it's still slower than my Crocodile. How unusual. There's another Dragon Dance. Okay, things are getting a little scary. It almost certainly...
The pain of my Pokemon, I feel it too.
It almost certainly has a KO on us at this point. But it wants to Dragon Dance a third time. Okay. Which means Iris's AI probably did not see a KO there. And here comes a Druddigon. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just keep Crocodile in. Ooh, does Dig not count as a contact move? Or is this just, for some reason, not a rough-skinned Druddigon? And I believe we get a Haxorus. No Zvilus in the whole gym. That feels weird.
No, not yet. No, we can fight on.
I had Haxorus on my team back in my first run of this game. I named it Halberd. Because, I mean, look at it. Alright, let's swap off of Reuniclus at this point. It's going to be using a Dark-type move. Well, it might not. Basically, any move it has is going to KO at this point, which means it's probably just random. Yep, there's Slash, which, hey, we resist. And an Acrobatics, even with an item held, would probably get the KO at this point. Nope, not quite. And now it's going to outspeed us, probably. And that's a bit of an issue. Oh. Or she's going to Hyper Potion it. I should use Fly, honestly. Okay, 2 Dragon Dances. Getting a little scary here. I do have access to 1 priority move, but it's resisted by Dragon. And apparently Haxorus is using Dragon Tail, which always goes last, so that might be the only move it had that was capable of a KO there. So I guess we just swap Pokemon and hope it wants to Dragon Tail again, because, yeah, Dragon Tail always goes last, and if that's the only thing it sees a KO with, but it does see a KO with it, it's guaranteed to use it. And there's a Hyper Potion, because of course. Couldn't just let me have the win. I wanted to see a bit more damage out of that Slash. Oh boy, a Dragon Dance number 3. This Haxorus is getting terrifying. Samurott, I'm really going to need to see some crits if we're going to make any real headway. Oh boy, 4 Dragon Dances. Okay, Samurott, show me a crit while it is trying to use Dragon Tail, please. Okay, it's definitely trying to use Dragon Tail. And it did not show me a crit, so that's no more Samurott. 0 chance Samurott was going to survive that. Alright, let's at least take away one of those Dragon Dances worth of attack boosts. And here's a Slash. That's probably a KO. Sure is. What about on Reuniclus? Worst case scenario, I do use a Revive here and then just Aqua Jet to win. Yeah, of course it saw a KO with Slash. But our Manitan's got enough HP that maybe it'll feel tempted to use Dragon Tail. Or Dragon Dance again. Alright, we win. That Haxorus got very, very scary. But instead of continuing to press her advantage, Iris tried to get more of an advantage.
I did my best, but we lost. Whoa, that was so cool! I'm so happy I could battle a trainer as strong as you!
And there's our 8th gym badge.
Hey, that's your 8th badge, right? That's so cool! Now every Pokemon will do what you ask, no matter how big they are. You know what? I'll give you this TM too. Dragon Tail doesn't just do damage. It sends the other Pokemon back to its Poké Ball too. Oh, hey, I wonder how Mr. Alder is doing. I wonder if he's battling that trainer called N in the Pokemon League right now. Do you know about the Pokemon League? It's past Victory Road at the end of Route 10. Hello, how was Iris doing? Oh, I came to report on how to resurrect the legendary Zekrom. I thought it would be better to tell you in person than over the cross transceiver. And as for the conclusion, well, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm sure the Pokemon will wake up when it deems someone worthy. More importantly, aren't you amazing? You have all 8 of Unova's gym badges now, right? You've become so strong. You probably don't even know it, but you've changed a lot since you left Nuvema Town. Well then, I'll show you where such a strong trainer should head next.
Yeah, I know. We go over this way and then up to Victory Road.
Pass through that gate, go down Route 10, and you'll arrive at the badge check gates. Once you get through Victory Road, which is past the gates, you're finally at the Pokemon League. Oh, that just made me think of when I was showing you around the Pokemon Center in Accumula Town. Redmond, do you regret setting out on your Pokemon journey?
Not one bit.
Thanks, that's the greatest answer you could give. I was really happy to be able to give you 3 of those Pokemon as a present. Because Pokemon create chances to meet more wonderful people in Pokemon. Redmond, this is a present for you.
Thanks, I won't use it.
This Master Ball is the most powerful kind of Pokeball. It can catch any Pokemon without fail. This is the only way I can support you, except to say, be true to yourself. No matter what happens, stay strong and keep going with your Pokemon. See you!
Alright, let's go to the Pokemon Center because our team is kind of a little bit roughed up. And honestly, I don't feel like going to Victory Road today. We're not going to end quite yet. Because now that we've got all 8 badges, we can make Thundurus show up. Not that we can try and catch it right now, because it will be hanging out in the post-game areas at this time of day, if I'm not mistaken. Because it moves around Unova based on the time of day. And yeah, if I'm not mistaken, in the evenings like this, it's out in the post-game areas. And I can't exactly go to said post-game areas before the post-game. No? Still not here yet? Guess you need more than just all 8 badges. So, let's just see here. I am looking up information on Thundurus. Ah. Looks like first you might have to go to the Pokemon League. You don't have to beat it, I don't think. But you have to go there. And yeah, I don't feel like doing that today.
So that is almost it for this stream. I'm going to do one more Mewtwo check. And while I'm doing it, most Pokemon games where the Pokemon Center has this Poké Ball icon on its floor, I like to save my game in the middle of the Poké Ball because it just feels right. But in this game, like, this is the top of the Poké Ball, yeah? And here our shadow is on the little center dot, but it's not completely covering it. And then down here, our shadow's above the bottom, but our sprite is wholly contained within the Poké Ball pretty much. So while I'm not standing in the middle of the Poké Ball, it looks like I'm in the middle of the Poké Ball. This is the correct place to save in Pokemon Black and White. I can see arguments made for this, but it's just off-center enough that I don't like it either. So I would rather be more off-center, but have my sprite contained within the design. That is important. Anyway, thanks folks for dropping by to watch and chat and all that, and I'll be back on Sunday. Not tomorrow, but Sunday for more Pokemon White. See you then, friends.